Hello, welcome back. It's Tendad again. Thank you as always for your continued support, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going back to a video that I haven't done in a while that I've been meaning to do for a while. I did some of my favorite Switch exclusives, what I think are the best. And now some of them have become multi-platform and things have changed around. So I thought this time I would do my top 20 best Switch games, the ones that I think are the best. This is my opinion, as always. It's going to differ from yours. There might be a lot of the same for some other people as well. Nevertheless, there will be no Mario Kart. There will be no Zelda. So for the one person that's going to say to me, "Where's Zelda? Where's Zelda?" I'm talking about exclusives. 20 best exclusive Switch games. If they were on another platform or anything first, they're not going to be on here. And I had to kind of pick one from each kind of, I didn't just go like, one RPG and a whole thing, but some of these I had to, kind of pick between one in a trilogy or whatnot. So there'll be a little of that, but enough rambling. Here we go. Okay, the first one on this list, number 20, Golf Story. Now, I don't actually have this game anymore, but when I did have it, I thought it was an awesome little concept. And, back then it just didn't click with me, but I've played it again recently, or more recently, digitally, and I've been quite a fan of it. I think it deserves to be on this list. This is where I thought it kind of needed to be. Yeah, if you've not heard of this or played it, it's a great little RPG for sure. I need to get back to this at some point. As with a lot of these, I haven't quite finished them. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't, but yeah. It's a great little exclusive. I enjoy it. Okay, the next one. Another actual exclusive first-party Nintendo game, and that is Age of Calamity. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I never did finish this either, but I just love the fact that it's kind of showing you or playing out the prequel to Breath of the Wild, so to speak. I always thought that was a pretty cool little deal, and again, another one I want to finish, but I got busy playing other stuff, so it just didn't happen. But nevertheless, I think it's a pretty good game. I've never played Hyrule Warriors, the definitive edition. It's also on the Switch. That one just didn't seem as interesting to me. I like the setting of this, and again, that it's just kind of like a prequel to Breath of the Wild. I thought it was really cool. So, okay, moving on. The first sports title on this list, and that is Mario Tennis Aces. I no longer have this game either, but out of all the sports type games, I would say that this is my favorite. I'm not really into the soccer or football, however you want to say it. And the Mario Golf Rush, it doesn't really appeal to me. I'd rather play more realistic type golf or whatnot. So, I enjoy Mario Tennis Aces. I don't think it's an actually crazy good game, but out of 20, it deserves to be here at, 18, I guess. Okay, the next one, this is going to be a little divisive, but I'm not really a huge fan of this game, but I had to put it on this list somewhere, and it's going to upset a lot of people, but oh well, and that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've never been huge into this game. I'm not really crazy about the fighting in it. I love fighting games, but just not really this style. But I can recognize the following it has and the greatness that it is to a lot of people. But to me, I don't think it's a bad game. Just this is where I'm putting it on my list. This is where I think it just needs to go. And again, I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for that, but that's okay. I don't have to like Smash Brothers. Okay, moving on. Another one that I want in my collection, I've always kind of waited for it to come down in price a little bit, and that is 51 Clubhouse Games. Yeah, this is just an awesome little collection, and I didn't even realize that this was a Switch exclusive. So as soon as I did, I'm like, you know what, it's got to be on this list somewhere, and this is where I'm putting it. But yeah, again, I don't have this yet, but I definitely want to get around to getting it someday. I just didn't think it was worth the 40 or 50 bucks it was when it came out. So maybe down the road it'll be a little cheaper, and that's when I'll pick it up. But okay, another one that is limited, and hopefully people got a hold of it and you can still find them out somewhere. I haven't seen so many as I used to at Walmart, but that is Mario 3D All-Stars. Yeah, I think this definitely could have been better of a remake and the way they put everything together or whatnot, but can't deny what it is, and it's pretty cool that they even did it. And for somebody like me that never had a Wii, I was very interested to play Mario Galaxy, so I was happy that the good bit that I've got to play that. It's another one I need to get back to. I had fun with it while I was there. Mario Sunshine, I'm not a huge fan of. I played through it a little bit. And Mario 64, it was really kind of hard to go back to that, honestly, because you don't realize how bad the camera and stuff was, being a pretty early on 3D game. It just doesn't hold up the best. But I thoroughly enjoyed Mario Galaxy. I don't see why they didn't put Galaxy 2 on there. I know a lot of people were upset about that, and even the fact that it's like a limited thing that they did for like 6 months or a year or something like that, and then it's off the store digitally, off the store. Like, I didn't understand that, but I got in on it while I had the chance, so I do have my physical copy. And yeah, it's just crazy that Nintendo did this. I hope this doesn't become a trend. And I know they've already added Mario 64 as far as the N64 service and stuff, and maybe that had something to do with it, and they plan on adding the other two down the road. Who knows at this point, but okay, moving along. This is the second best selling Switch game for a reason, and I can understand the allure with it, and that is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, it took me a little extra to get into this game. I wasn't into it at first. Then I got bit by the bug for a little bit, so I tried it out, and while I haven't, put in hundreds and even thousands of hours as some people have, I have enjoyed the little bit I've done, and kind of got my daughter into it a little bit and was able to help her out and give her a lot of good things to get her started. So that was kind of fun diving back in. And I've not played any of the DLC or anything. I've not even bothered to really mess with that. I can understand the allure that this game has, and the timing of it coming out couldn't have been any better for the world in general. It's no wonder it sold like hotcakes. And it deserves to be on this list. It's a little lower on my list because, again, I'm not a huge fan of this series. But, again, I can understand the appeal of it and why people love it so much, why so many people love it so much. So we need these kind of cozy games, where you can kind of just turn your brain off a little bit and just relax and whatnot. So, okay, the next one is not about turning your brain off and relaxing. It's the total opposite, and that is Tetris 99. Oh man, Tetris 99 is so awesome, but it's so difficult. I've never ranked higher than third place, and I thought that was amazing. What can I say? It's Tetris, and you're fighting or competing against 98 other people, and just a great little exclusive that the Switch could have. And I don't have this physically because I know it's like a free copy type thing, but they did put out a physical copy that I maybe will go and get one day for the collection, just to kind of have it, but I've put in a good bit of time on this, and it's just kind of ones you pick up for a little bit and put down. But it gets crazy when you get into the last 10. I mean, even the last 20, it's just insanity. These people are so good at Tetris, it's not funny. I mean, but it's very, very tough game, but very fun. I love all the different kind of backgrounds and stuff you can unlock. I'm working on getting the original Game Boy one. Yeah, just you got to win a lot, and you got to, or maybe not even win, but you just got to play a good bit to get certain tokens to be able to do that, and I just haven't really gotten to that part yet. Nevertheless, awesome little game. If you like Tetris, you can't go wrong. It's a free download. If you've not tried it, definitely give it a try. Okay, the next one, another Switch exclusive, first party, and that is Splatoon 3. This is arguably the best Splatoon out of the three. Out of the two that I've at least played, I've played 2 and 3, and while I enjoyed 2, I think 3, they really took it a step further and really made it even more beautiful. The graphics are even crisper, the ink especially. It's really crazy what they were able to put out of the Switch. And yeah, I just feel like this game deserves to be on this list too. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Good for kids and adults alike. I have fun with it at times, but there are times you get on and you just can't get a win if your life depended on it feels like, and it gets a little frustrating. But I feel like all kind of competitive multiplayer games are like that. Unless you play them a lot like those people, you're just not gonna get into it like that. So great game. Again, it's the best of the trilogy, and I highly recommend it. Okay, the last one before we get into the top 10 here, Yoshi's Crafted World. This was one of the first Switch games I ever got. One of the reasons I wanted a Switch besides Mario Odyssey. Yeah, what a great little game. This is arguably not as good as Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, and I wish that would have got ported over, but I doubt it will with this Crafted World being, the whole new game. So, but yeah, I found this charming, and I really love it, and I love Yoshi, and this is just one that I don't ever see me playing through again, but I enjoyed my time with it while I had it. It's kind of like almost like a Kirby game. It's not too difficult, but it's just kind of fun to run through, and it has its wonderful little Nintendo charm to it, and you can't go wrong there. So I think it's a little underrated, and it's maybe not on other people's list, but I personally like it better than the ones before this. So okay, now we're getting into the top 10. Number 10, WarioWare, Get It Together. I just recently picked this up maybe a couple months ago, and it's a really fun game. It's you really get your brain moving really fast sometimes trying to keep up with all this, but it was cool. I'd never played one of these WarioWare games, as I didn't really have a DS and a Game Boy Advance to really kind of play any of those, but when I saw this, I just figured I would like it, and I kind of just sat down in a couple days and just ran through it and had a pretty good time with it. It's fun, and I still haven't unlocked everything, so I definitely want to go back at some point and get everything unlocked a little more, all the boards and whatnot. But yeah, I just think it deserves to be at number 10 here. It's an awesome party game, first party Nintendo. It's an awesome little party game that you can play with people. I kind of wanted to put at least one of those on this top 10 list, as the rest of these are kind of single player games. But okay, the next one, number 9, Mario Maker 2. I won't really go in any further than I already have with this. You can make your own Mario levels. It's expanded from the first one on the Wii U. Now, I did enjoy the first one a little bit better only because of the way the Wii U was kind of set up, that you can, kind of work on the tablet and look on your screen, and it doesn't really work the same with the Switch, unfortunately. But if you play this handheld, it's really great, and even not handheld, the controls are intuitive enough. It's just a little bit more controllable, I believe, with a stylus and kind of handheld. But what an awesome concept. I have so many levels that I started making and stuff. I need to get back to this one day and kind of finish those up. But I had a blast with this while I had it. Just endless Mario content. The stuff that some people come up with is insane. And I just wish I could make half of that kind of cool stuff. But okay, moving on. Number 8, Luigi's Mansion 3. This is arguably one of the best looking games on the Switch still to this day, especially first party Nintendo games. One I've already ran through, obviously, and I actually got rid of my copy, unfortunately, so I do need to get another copy of this, but one that I would consider running through again. Just really fun again. The puzzles were fun. I didn't even realize at first, but it is co-op actually. Somebody can be Guigi, but I played it single player, had a good time with it. It's kind of cool. It came out around Halloween time, if I remember correctly. I believe it was a little bit before it. Yeah, it was just a cute little, fun little game to run through, and I'd never played any of the other Luigi's Mansions, and it's definitely made me a fan, as many other of the titles on this list. They're my first time playing it in the series, and I just fall in love with it. So I'm interested to see, what they do next with this series and other ones on here that can't wait to see where they go with it. So now that I'm a big fan of. Okay, the next one, another awesome exclusive for the Switch, and that is Astral Chain. I think this game is underrated. It can be linear at times, and it's almost like encourages replaying the levels and whatnot. But Platinum Games, they always make awesome combat in their games and just awesome flashy games in general. Again, I think tied with Luigi's Mansion, if not beating it in a lot of ways. This is the best looking and best performing Switch game. It's very crazy how they were able to do all this, and I have not beat this. I've gotten to like chapter 8 or 9 2 different times now. Now I'm on my second playthrough, but the first time I did it, I kind of just fell out of it, and then I forgot everything about it because it was like a year or more before I played it again. So I'm like, I have to just start over again. So I am currently playing through this again, but love the combat in this and the customization, the cyberpunky futuristic world that you're in. It all just clicks for me. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you've not ever tried this, give it a try. I don't think there's a demo. I wish there was, that more people could try it out. But yeah, again, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you might like it if you give it a chance. Okay, another one that I'm pretty sure this is an exclusive for the Switch, and that is Fast RMX. I talked about this not long ago. I have the digital copy like so many others, and bought a physical copy when Super Rare was doing it. What a fantastic game. I mean, this is, again, this is F-Zero and Wipeout had a baby, and, put it on the Switch. It runs smooth 60 frames like you wouldn't believe. It's a fun game, and it gets pretty challenging the further up you get. I definitely got to a point where I was like, wow, I'm going to have to really practice at this, but awesome game to have for the Switch exclusively. I wish this was more widely available for people, physically, but I imagine a lot of people have bought it digitally. It would be interesting to see kind of what the sales are for this, but I think it deserves to be in this spot. It's just an awesome game. I haven't played it for quite a while, but I had a lot of fun with it when I did have it, or when I did play it, rather. Okay, we're getting into the top 5 here. Number 5, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Man, I did not realize I was going to love this game this much. I really enjoyed this game when I played it, and thinking, man, I haven't played a Kirby game since Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, and I used to love that game when I was a kid. And I got this game, the day it came out, came home, spent a whole weekend playing through this game, and don't regret it one bit. It was such an awesome, wonderful Nintendo charm out the wazoo. Fun platformer that's not too difficult. It's just fun. What else can I say? It is just a fun game. It is a fun Nintendo game that they knew what they were doing with this, and I give it to HAL Laboratory too. They just made a phenomenal game. I can't wait to see what they do next with Kirby's next 3D type game that hopefully comes out at some point. Okay, number 4. This is the reason that I bought a Switch. As soon as I saw this game, I was like, oh my god, I have to play this. And it did not disappoint. And that is Super Mario Odyssey. I don't have this anymore. As I've said before, I gave it to a stepson of mine at one point because he kind of wanted it. That's the reason he wanted a Switch as well. And so I was feeling a little nice that day. So I definitely need to put this back in my collection. But man, what can I say that hasn't already been said about this game? Easily the best 3D Mario ever made. I love Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury as well, but it's right in front of that. I mean, just barely in front of it, but what a fantastic, sequel to Mario 64 that so many of us have been waiting on, and even better, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I have a feeling they're going to hold off on the next really big Mario and put it on the next Nintendo, but we'll see. It might be a cross-platform thing. It'd be interesting if they do put one more on the Switch. I would love that, but I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. That would be interesting to see. Okay, number 3, Metroid Dread. Now, I debated putting on Metroid Prime Remastered on here, as it is almost entirely a new game, but as it is a remaster of an old game, I decided I'm going to put Metroid Dread on here instead. Awesome 2D Metroid. I think the best 2D Metroid in a lot of ways. I think it's at least tied with Super Metroid, in my opinion. Super Metroid has, was the pioneer of a lot of that kind of goes on now with the gameplay and whatnot, and the music was fantastic. But Metroid Dread just controls so much better. It's just a refinement of the series. It's absolutely amazing what they did. I beat this game twice in a row. I don't ever hardly go back and play a game right away, but I did it with this, and I couldn't get enough of it. And it deserves to be in my top 3 here. Okay, the next one, number 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Man, what can I say about this game more than I already have? Got this at day 1 again. Was super excited for this to finish the story that I had started so long ago, and man, what a fantastic game. There are so many times, and I've said this before, but there were so many times, legitimately, where I'm like, this game is massive. I would just find a new area after 30 or 40 hours. I'm finding a new area that's just like hours and hours and hours worth of gameplay and exploration, and it just blew my mind. I think the story was great, how they wrapped things up. I don't think it was as impactful for me as the first game was, but again, that was the first game, and it's almost like that nostalgia for that and the story, which I won't spoil here, but just the way the story started and everything, and the way that the whole story for that whole game was, it was really a mind mess for sure. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3 arguably is the best game in the series. It plays the best. The attention to detail and the character development and the character interactions, even though you have 6 main characters, I mean, it just works so well, is all I can say. If you have happened to not play any of these games, I suggest highly starting at the beginning with 1 and then playing 2 and 3, and maybe even possibly Torna if you feel so inclined to do so. But don't sleep on this game. I think the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy is some of the best games that you can possibly get on the Switch, let alone JRPGs. The combat's not for everyone, but as I said, in 3, this one here, they really refined things, and it's a lot more fun than it used to be. It's just like a natural progression. So I need to move on because I could sit here and talk about this one forever and the next one here, but okay, number 1 and the Big Daddy on top as for right now, and hopefully this one doesn't get turned into a multi-platform game too, but that is Shin Megami Tensei 5. Oh man, I had never played games like this. This game literally got me into Persona, the other, Persona games and stuff, just from loving this game so much. I cannot believe that I had never played one of these games. I think this most definitely deserves to be at the top of this list. For me personally, the music, the combat, the story, the graphics, the performance, it's just running on all cylinders. And to me, that's what makes a 10 out of 10 game almost, or even, making the top of a list. It makes sense. These top 3 especially. I mean, hell, even the top 5. I mean, they are just all firing on all cylinders. It's almost hard to pick one, but I kind of went by, a lot of factors, but the hours I put into it as well, and just some other things that, got me to this point. But holy crap, what a game. If you've happened to not play this, it's only been out for, I don't know, a little under 2 years, I think now, but don't sleep on this game. It can be difficult, and, it is very grindy and whatnot, but, man, you will find an awesome JRPG if you just stick with this, and I can't recommend this game enough. I hope more people play it, and I can't wait to see what they do with Shin Megami Tensei 6. Alright everyone, that's my list. Thank you. As always, you guys are awesome. Let me know what some of your favorites are, what would be in your list, and how you feel about my list, and maybe games you've never even heard of. And that's always awesome when somebody tells me, oh man, I found something that you were talking about and I went and put it in my eShop, or I'd never heard of that game. That looks really cool. What is that? Or anything. And it happens to me too. I see games from other channels and hear about them from other people, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. It's like, that's what the community's all about. And I love it, and it's a cool little community that I've got going here, and I just really appreciate all you guys, the support and everything, and I'm trying to be as consistent with this as I can, and just keep putting out good content and that people are going to enjoy. And so yeah, I guess that's going to do it for me. Thank you all as always. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and again, share with me some of your thoughts on this, and happy Switch collecting. Till next time.